Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Skyrim Mods of the moment. In this video we learn to make our own spells, check out some incredible overhauls, dive into deep Solstheim sea and much more, not forgetting immersion mods out of the mix. I'm Bard's college graduate, and now let's begin the first showcase. It's flu season in the real world, but we should all be thankful that it isn't rock joint season instead. With Immersive Diseases 2.0, the many noxious illnesses of Skyrim now feel visceral and are very much visible to the eye. With the help of Race Menu and Open Animation Replacer, every one of the 6 gruesome Tamrielic diseases, yes, including brain rot that many of us are probably inflicted at this point, come with their own unique animation and skin overlays to really highlight their uncomfortable effects on one's health. By also adding the optional NPC module from the install manager, not only you and your follower are prone to illnesses, now, depending on their lifestyle and occupation, many different people can and will catch these deadly diseases. On top of all this beautiful immersion, this mod is performance-friendly and very compatible with many popular mods including bathing in Skyrim and Solstheim. Now, it makes sense when an NPC tells you that you look sickly, because you actually do, really do. One fun feature many of us are missing from Oblivion has now arrived to Skyrim, presented by 4th era spellcrafting. In a nutshell, this mod allows you to create custom spells by mixing the effects of existing ones and setting their stats as you see fit. The magicka cost of each new spell will be automatically calculated to keep the spells somewhat balanced, and you can choose any visuals from any schools of magic for your custom spell. Here I combined Conjurer, Frost Thrall and Frost Cloak to create Breezy, that both summons an Atronach and veils me in a defensive frost spell. 4th era spellcrafting also works with modded spells, so you can create all kinds of Frankenstein-style charms and incantations. To begin this fine art of spellcrafting, you need to speak to Sergius Terranius at the College of Winterhold and ask him about the Tome of Spellmaking. With this delightful mod, you can not only be a lifelong student of magic, but a creator of them too. Now, let's take a look at a huge overhaul, one that gives Solitude the grandiosity it sorely deserves. Grand Solitude, the Walls of High King Erling, is a seriously impressive overhaul of the capital of Skyrim with a lot of added content, including new clutter, new characters and new locations within Solitude. In fact, this mod adds more than whopping 50 new NPCs that all have their daily routines and activities, and they live in the 20 new buildings added in the city. The silhouette of the city is completely renewed, with its high towers reaching the clouds and the robust fortifications shielding its residents. Moreover, some of the iconic existing locations have been overhauled completely, such as the Castle Dower with its moat entrance, and many new and overhauled rooms and halls inside the castle, and Temple of the Nine Divines as well, with its new serene courtyard with a beautiful view. At the highest tower, the court mages hone their magic skills. There is a new bank of Hafingar, new shops such as the bakery, and new vendors outside in the marketplace, and other such immersive details can be found throughout Solitude. Now, if we take a step back to the entrance, you can see that it's also looking mighty impressive and reflects the grandiosity of the inner city. There's a small new district right at the city's main gates, which contains the Squall Gate Inn, which is a little bit shabbier than the Winking Skiver, but still cozy, and a blacksmith whose services you can use. Now, with this truly incredible mod, the whole city is huge, beautiful, and absolutely monumental, just like Solitude should be. Grand Solitude is still a work in progress mod, but it's already shaping up to be an incredible overhaul for those who seek to have a massive, busy, and lively capital of Skyrim. Now let's take a look at Immersive Dialogue Expansion Stormcloaks, an immersion mod that adds more than 150 new lines in the game for Ulfric Stormcloak and his right hand, Galmar Stonefist.
The goal of those elves, to take our soldiers and claim a fort on our land. I wish we could do something to save him, but Hafengar remains out of our reach. For now, you must do it in discreet.
These new lore-friendly dialogue lines expand these characters' personalities through their past and personal lives and explain their motives and plans.
My sons, they're in the halls of Sovngarde now, with their grandfathers, their comrades, and all who gave their lives to our cause. But my daughter Gunhild, she was murdered in cold blood by Imperial assassins. She never deserved her fate.
The author has written these new lines by themselves, and the characters' new voices are created with the help of an AI voice generator. I find both writing and voices very convincing and very realistic, and the mod is for sure a great addition to the game, not only for more Stormcloak content, but also for the roleplay possibilities.
Did you now? Not many walked into those witches' den and came out alive. Even fewer made it into my city to tell their stories. Tell me then, what do the Thalmor have to say about me? I see, but tell me, what do you think of such claims?
This video was made possible by my supporters. If you want to help, check out patreon.com/particulargraduate or join as a channel member. Shout out to the real G's, including Eric's Lagenvite, Billy Duncan, Divine Cleric, Dodepunker, Don Wright, Erondith, Frank Brackett, Krakenhelm, Onshorefly15, Ryan Ulrich, Simon the Blind, and the Panicked Monk. Next, we have a very intriguing and very simple new user interface mod, Follower Stats. Inspired by Starfield, this mod adds a useful view when you're having a conversation with a potential follower or a hireling, which shows you some of their stats, including their pool of health, magicka and stamina, as well as their level and which skills they're proficient in. This mod works for all vanilla companions and hired swords, but also with custom followers as long as the authors have set up the proper factions. In any case, this is a very good idea and clean execution for some additional info of the potential followers. We still have another useful UI mod today, which is Legendary Map. This mod is also very simple and clean. It adds an interactive legend to the map menu, so you can toggle on and off these different map markers, decluttering the map from the locations you don't want to see. The custom markers, such as for the largest cities, cannot be toggled, but most if not all of the common markers are included in this, and the mod is compatible with all other map-related mods. It also remembers your choices every time you open the map again. To make followers feel even more immersive and realistic as people, we can take use of followers react to crafting. This mod gives vanilla voiced followers around 660 new lines of dialogue that they speak while you, the player, are using the many different crafting stations in Skyrim.
Not sure what you're doing there. Not sure I care. But I grow bored.
Perhaps we can focus on surviving before enchanting souvenirs?
These comments are very diverse as they vary depending on the location, time of day, and player skills, among other factors, and there are some unique lines as well for certain companions.
Whatever you're making there, there's no chance it will be as good as my trusty Grimsever.
Let's hope you don't wake up any more Draugr then, eh?
I absolutely love this mod, as it's a lot of fun to hear the followers speaking their mind while I'm working on some iron daggers for the 50th time in a row.
Oh, you're doing that again.
These new lines are a mix of repurposed vanilla dialogue and AI-generated voices, and as always, they are a mix of lore-friendly and pure hilarity.
Ah, the hiss of the potion. The sting of the fumes brings back memories of the marsh.
Now, let's take a look at Valhalla Bridges, a mod that overhauls various bridges all around Skyrim by making them more diverse with custom-made models, and also makes the location around each modded bridge more interesting. I'm a big fan of this author's location overhauls, so I was very excited to take a look at this mod, and safe to say, I've yet to be disappointed. Sadly, it seems that they are now retiring from Skyrim modding, but let's enjoy this last one properly now. On the whole, there are 11 locations overhauled by Valhalla Bridges, some intentionally shabbier, some more sturdy. I feel like they reflect the area around them, so they don't feel out of place at all. Instead, they complement these locations with the help of all sorts of fitting clutter and make these locations feel a bit more unique. In the same vein of these smaller location overhauls, we have across the border, diverse border gates. This mod overhauls the 4 crossing borders to the neighboring provinces of Tamriel by giving them all unique custom crafted models created with the lore of the surrounding location in mind. Eastmarch Gate is an ancient Nordic stone gate, Falkreath Gate made of the local lumber and wood, Pale Pass has strong imperial influences, and Rift Gate has also been constructed by using the local lumber from the vast forests. Next, we're checking out a new texture pack for the people's favorite settlement. Let's see how Skyking Whiterun looks like. This mod is a complete retexture of the bustling city of Whiterun, covering all of the surfaces in glorious complex parallax effect to make it look realistic and 3D. Of course, Skyking's creations, including Fantasia and Skyland, are always top-notch, and his new take on Whiterun is no different. The details are beautiful, and the textures look cohesive and elevate the city in a subtle manner. You can choose from 2 grass colors, Tundra Yellow or a lively green, so you can match the color of the grass you have in the hold. On top of retexturing everything you can see, this mod also fixes some building meshes that had minor issues, and you can choose to install this texture pack in 1K, 2K or 4K size, which I'm using here. With one new mod, we can experience a certain Daedric Princess quest in a more interesting way, just in time for the spooky season. Ill Met by Moonlight Dialogue Expansion is a fully custom voiced mod that aims to improve this quest of her scene by adding some nuance to the choice of siding with the werewolf or the Daedric Prince. Now, you can have a longer conversation with Sinding while he's sitting in Falkreath jail cell, including an option to tell him he deserves his fate behind the bars.
And maybe you're right. I know now that I can't live among people. I can only hope Sovngarde awaits.
And if you progress the quest into hunting the White Stag and make the choice to end Sinding's life in the cave, you have new dialogue options with her scene to let this Lord of the Hunt know that you do not serve him and his ambitions.
And yet you still please me. You turned the chase inside out and claimed your trophy for all to see. Savage and impressive.
In addition, there is a new reward, a magic item that can be used to summon a spirit bear to aid you in battle, but you can also return it to its rightful owner.
Truly? But how is that possible? After all this time, still it survives. Thank the Allmaker.
This mod is great for new roleplay options, and it makes the quest a bit more interesting to play through. Next, we have a really cool new mod that has put out an idea I've never seen before. This is Meteor Garden Catch a Falling Star. Inspired by the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with this mod you can sometimes see a meteor falling down from the sky while adventuring throughout the province of Skyrim. Now, if you followed where it landed, you can find the meteor, which is a very high value item to sell, or just keep it to yourself and maybe proudly display it in your home. I absolutely adore this simple but striking concept, and visually the falling meteors look incredible and add just a little bit of possibilities of random occurrences happening while exploring, which makes the world just a bit more unpredictable and wonderful. There's also one armor I'd like to showcase today, which is Northern Knight Armor Mashup SMP. This is a male-only heavy armor set, designed a traveling sellsword knight or perhaps a paladin in mind, and it has been created by combining different already existing armors together. These pieces are all ebony tier armor, and thus the armor set can be crafted at the forge with the ebony crafting perk, and it has subtle physics enabled, so HDT SMP is required. I think this armor looks super sleek in all of its simplicity of chainmail, and it's a sure thing to shield your male dragonborn from most sources of harm. Now, I hope you like location overhauls as much as I do, since there's a few I really need to show you guys. First off, here we have Double Life, Anises cabin overhaul, a mod that gives this harmless old lady's house a completely new model and adds some fitting clutter all around it. Down in the cellar, well, it does look pretty unusual in here, but anyone could have a basement like this, right? You know, still nothing incriminating. In any case, this is a cool mod for the cool woman in the woods. Next up on the line, we have Redwater Brewery. Seriously, how do you say the word? An overhaul. This mod adds some new lore to Redwater Den, the infamous cellar in which people enjoy the effects of skooma. With the mod, the exterior location has been overhauled to resemble a rundown brewery and not just another abandoned farmhouse. There is also a completely new interior space, a warehouse with skivers and all kinds of utensils to run a brewery, and old meat barrels upon barrels. I must say, I really like this idea, as it would be plausible to go out of business in competition with the Blackbriar Meadery. Finally, we have Solstheim Abandoned Lodge Overhaul. This mod gives a new look to the empty cottage in the middle of nowhere, Solstheim, and makes it look more unique in the sea of these similar looking farmhouses of Skyrim. Both the exterior of the house and the interior are revamped to make it look distinctive and feel like it's been abandoned a long time ago. Especially the interior looks really messed up, where the blacksmith from Skull Village has been kidnapped by the Thalmor. It's a cool little mod just for this small location. Now that we have already traveled to Solstheim, I think it's a great idea to check out one more mod for the road. Underwater Solstheim makes this island, or to be more precise, the sea around it, more interesting to explore, so take out your diving gear, water-breathing potions, or your Argonian heritage and explore it! With this mod, there are now more than 20 new encounters, points of interests, marked and unmarked locations, and small dungeons to dive in to reveal their long-lost secrets. In addition, there is a lot more fish added. Now it's definitely worth it to go for a dive, as you can find treasure chests, shipwrecks, shrines, and all sorts of mysterious things in the depths of the freezing Sea of Ghosts. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of these new mods in the comment section, and do subscribe and like the video for more. See ya!